What is going on, everybody? Been a diehard Pistons fan since '03 and eager to see this team getting back to playing winning basketball. In today's video, we will be doing a season preview for Pistons guard Cade Cunningham. On this channel, we have been and will continue to do season previews for all Pistons players on the roster. We started with the youngest and we're working our way up to the oldest, and today we will be going over a season preview for Cade Cunningham. In these videos, we talk a little bit about where they were last year and then go over 3 strengths to expect this upcoming season, 1 weakness to expect, a swing skill, and then predict where they will be at in the rotation. So we'll hop straight into it to talk a little bit about last year for Cade. He averaged 23 points per game to go along with 4 rebounds and 7.5 assists. He shot 45% from the floor and 35% from the three-point line. He played in 62 games, all of which he started, averaging about 34 minutes per night. All in all, despite the losing, I thought last year was a good step in the right direction for Cade. I think that throughout the year he did make some improvements as well, and overall I am totally a Cade believer. So to start things off with his strengths, the first one to expect is going to be his mid-range scoring. Last year, he was one of the best mid-range scorers in the entire league already at 22 years old. He shot about 4 to 5 attempts from the mid-range per game, making them at almost 50%. Absolutely elite mid-range scoring ability already on display at a young age. He's able to use his body and size to rise up in the mid-range over smaller defenders. He's able to use his skill and craft to be able to snake dribble around maybe bigger players or switches, anything really. You name it, you throw it at him. Cade's going to find a way to be able to get a shot that he likes in the mid-range almost every time down the floor if he chooses to. He's got the whole package when it comes to mid-range scoring. He can throw head fakes, get people off the ground, and then pull up and rise up. Whatever it is, Cade can find mid-range shots, take them, and make them at efficient rates as easy as he wants to. It's definitely one of his strongest suits on the basketball floor, and I don't expect that to go anywhere except up. I think he's only going to get better at it. So already elite, and the ceiling is best in the league, right up there with guys like SGA and Kevin Durant. He is that talented of a mid-range scorer. So a second strength that I do want to touch on is going to be his passing and playmaking. Now last year he averaged 7.5 assists per game. I know that there's a lot of people out there who saw some turnovers last year. He only averaged 3.4 turnovers per game. That's still a 2-to-1, better than a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. But people, have seen some of these turnovers over the past couple of years, and that has distracted them from the fact that just in a vacuum, Cade is an incredible passer and a playmaker, especially for a guard his size. He has the court vision to be able to make skip passes to the corner easily. It's something that he excels at. He has the passing accuracy to be able to sneak passes in between tight windows to roll men. You name it, as far as a pass on the floor that you can make, Cade can do it. Cade really can pass the ball, and a lot of times people have seen these higher turnover games for him throughout the first couple of years of his career, and they forget that the dude is a very talented passer, despite a few turnovers here and there that probably were unwarranted, but will get worked out. It's not uncommon for a guard at a young age to turn over the ball a good bit. Almost every good guard in the NBA turned over the ball more when they were 21, 22 years old than they did in their prime. So I would expect those kinks to get worked out, and you'll be able to get a better feel and sense for exactly how good of a playmaker Cade can be and will be going into next year. So a third strength that I do want to touch on is going to be his leadership ability. Cade is just wise beyond his years. Anybody who has been around the guy has said that. I typically don't read too much into that type of stuff because I'm not in the locker room and I don't have a direct line of communication with any of these guys on the team. But if you hear it from 100 different people and nobody's saying otherwise, it's probably true. And everybody around Cade just absolutely gasses up and talks up how great of a leader he is, how mature he is for his age, how he's able to lead this team, how he is the leader of this team even at a young age. So I think his leadership ability is going to be top notch. Now, one weakness is a really tough one because I really do think Cade is a pretty complete player, but I did go with defense, and this is going to be a tricky one. I don't think that Cade's going to have a bad defensive year, but I don't think Cade has the athletic ability to ever be a Herb Jones or Kawhi Leonard type of defender. That's just not within his skill set, and especially with the offensive load that he takes on with this team, I just don't think that he has the ability to play both ends at a super, super high caliber. I think that his defense can get better, and I think it will get better. I think a lot of the bad defensive possessions I saw from Cade last year were typically in situations where he would get called for a few ticky-tack fouls early in games, and then he would be scared of being in foul trouble, so in turn he would really ease up on the defense and not play aggressively on that end, and then that's when he would get blown by. So I think as long as he can, mature a little bit in the sense of not giving up these ticky-tack fouls early in games to allow him to stay out of foul trouble, I think you'll see a more engaged and aggressive defender from Cade. And when he is doing that, he's still able to be a good defender. He's got the length and size to be able to get in passing lanes and take on different positions as a defender. But I just don't think that he's ever going to be a Kawhi Leonard type of defender, and that's okay. It was really tough to pick a weakness for Cade because, truthfully, the dude is a very complete player. He can score the ball at the rim. He's a great mid-range scorer. His three-pointer, off the dribble, off the catch, both good. He's able to pass the ball. I mean, there's a million good things about Cade. So when I say a weakness for Cade is going to be his defense, he's not going to be a slouch out there, but he's not going to be a Kawhi either. So swing skill is going to be his scoring and particularly his ability to get to the free throw line. Last year, he averaged 23 points per game on 4.4 attempts from the free throw line. I think that there's a real world where by the end of the year, he's averaging 27 points per game and shooting 6 or 7 free throws per game. So that's going to be the swing skill. If Cade can improve on his scoring and increase it by another 3 points per game like he did last season and get himself up to 26 points per night, that's going to do huge things for this team and huge things for Cade's reputation as a player as well. I think that his scoring is going to be the swing skill here. I have no doubt in my mind that Cade is a great passer, a great playmaker, a great leader, a competent defender. Where his ceiling extends is his scoring ability. If Cade's able to get himself up to that 27 points per game area in year 4, we're talking about a dude who will be in the All-Star game without question, even if the Pistons aren't winning that many games. It's really hard to miss the All-Star game when you're averaging 27 points per game to go along with his 7-8 assists at minimum. So that's going to be the swing skill. If Cade can actually figure out a way to score even more than he already has, use some of this new space that's added onto the team to his advantage to do so, the sky is truly the limit for Cade Cunningham this upcoming year. So where he'll be at in the rotation, this is a tricky one for other players. For Cade, it's not. He's going to lead the team in minutes per game. He's going to start every single game. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be on the floor and starting. So super simple on that one for Cade. Don't need to go into the weeds on that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think of Cade this upcoming year. I'm really looking forward to seeing Cade in year 4. Really, it's his 3rd year of action. I believe in the dude truly. I'll even pop in the comments section. If you guys want to talk and have me, justify any of these points in the way I feel, I'm happy to do so. So I'll catch up with y'all soon.